Good morning everybody, and welcome back to The Vegan Runner. Today we're heading out on the Tarka Trail for the first run in the Brooks Hyperion Max. Alright, hello and welcome back to the channel. So yeah, Brooks Hyperion Max, first run, fresh out of the box today, and straight onto my feet for a 2-hour run up and down the Tarka Trail here in North Devon. So this is a new daily trainer from Brooks, leading towards the speedy end of sessions. I'm looking for a shoe that can kind of do it all, and I've heard and read that these are pretty much there on that front, so I'll be using them for speed sessions, I'll be using them for my foundation runs sometimes, and occasionally for recovery too. So this is a new daily trainer for me, and in a little while just reached 800 miles in and the Asics Nova Blast 3. Amazing shoe, just about falling apart, so time for a new one. So first impressions, taking them out of the box, they feel like a really good quality shoe, well constructed, very light. I'll put up the exact weight on the screen, but something around 220, 225 grams, which is pretty decent for such a bulky looking shoe. Lots of foam in that heel and really all the way along. Grip looks pretty standard for a Brooks shoe. Some exposed foam, and then some of that usual pretty thick and, past experience, quite hard wearing blue rubber. And then the upper looks pretty interesting too. Very smooth, nice clean lines, very tidy. I'm really enjoying the look of this colourway too. Right, I've been going for about half an hour now, about 4 miles under my feet, and first couple of miles very different from the shoes I've been running in lately. So the Nova Blast 3, Gel Cumulus, and the Brooks Glycerin 24, all very soft and pretty squidgy, especially the Nova Blast compared to this shoe. So Hyperion Max, despite its looks with that big slab of foam, it's actually a very firm ride. Not uncomfortable, but if you've been coming from that kind of Nova Blast, Alpha Fly, Adios Pro squidginess, you're in for a bit of shock with the Hyperion Max. It is very firm, but very light, really responsive ride. Almost feels more natural than those squidgy issues. So far so good, enjoying the ride in these. Feel quick, feel fresh. The only thing I would say at the moment is the upper is running a little bit warm. It's probably just over 10 degrees here today. It's not particularly warm. I can't feel much air flowing through that upper at the moment, so we'll see how that develops. But overall, at the moment, 4 miles in, I'm enjoying this one. Okay, we're a few miles further along. I'm feeling pretty nippy. Really enjoying these shoes. And just having a sort of first taste of going downhill now and seeing how they respond to that. First kind of 4 miles of the stretch of the Tarka Trail is just sort of gently uphill. Just opening up a little bit just to see how they feel at a slightly faster pace. I'm starting to see why some reviewers say that they like them for speed sessions. They feel very natural to run in. They feel responsive. I can imagine doing an interval in these being able to generate that quick leg turnover and just getting that firm, responsive ride. Another thing just to say at the moment, really enjoying the ground feel you've got in these. I think because they're that little bit firmer, you can just feel the kind of grit and the gravel along here. I feel like you've got a really good contact with the surface that I'm running on. No issues with the grip so far. Didn't think there would be. Brooks are pretty reliable in that department. I've got about half an hour to go until we turn around. Yeah, so far they're just a fun shoe to be wearing, especially I can see them being really good for a daily trainer. Yeah, it's just a really fun shoe to be running in, really. Feel fast, light, good leg turnover, good ground feel. So the sort of shoe at the moment anyway that you kind of look forward to putting on your feet before a workout, which really does help in the midst of marathon training like I am now. And I'm looking ahead past the next couple of weeks after London Marathon. So the next challenge, another ultra. I think these Brooks Hyperion Max are going to be a perfect training companion for many miles of yeah, slogging through ultra training. Alright, we're just coming up to 15 miles. It's brightened up a bit. Sunshine has been out. I've just gone in now. They're really good to see. First peacock of the year, and I think just caught a glimpse of a comma, peacock and comma butterfly. So always puts a smile on my face. Spring's finally here. As for the Hyperion Max, continuing to enjoy them as these miles just roll on. Now, it's not usually advisable to put on a fresh pair of shoes and run more than sort of 3 or 4 miles in them, really. You just want to test them, sort of break them in. Obviously, I've ignored that advice today. I had a feeling they'd be alright, and they have been. Forefoot's just a little bit sore, just because they're that little bit firmer than I'm used to, of course, over this distance. But really enjoying them. Foam's great, grip's great. I don't think I've mentioned the lockdown yet, and I didn't play around with laces or anything like that, just got them out of the box. But I literally just put them on my feet and tightened them up. And the lockdown's been pretty good. That collar is pretty well padded, very supportive. You can just feel it moving just a touch, so I'll dial that in with the lacing and give them a proper look. But it's not causing an issue or problem, but that's something I'll probably want to adjust, and just for that micro sort of comfort. Otherwise, all good. The upper of my foot, it cooled down a bit. I mentioned earlier they were running a little bit hot, but either I've just got used to it, or perhaps the shoes just open up a bit more and start to breathe. But they're not the coolest of shoes to be wearing, but they're not too hot either, so sitting in that kind of sweet spot, really. So just in terms of first thoughts in that, you know, after 16 miles, thinking about training, what am I going to be using these shoes for? What am I going to be reaching for the Hyperion Max? I think it's mostly going to be for days where I'm doing those speed training intervals, so twice a week. And then foundation runs where you just want to kind of pick up the pace a little bit, because they're light and firm, quite poppy. They'll suit those foundation runs very well. And then recovery, I'm sort of probably thinking I'll be reaching for something a bit more kind of squidgy and plush for those, just to give the feet a little bit of a break. But I think 9 runs out of 10, these are going to be a great shoe. Even I think you could race in them short and long distance. Also, they feel like a good shoe to kind of promote that quick cadence and kind of light footfall. If you're used to wearing maximum cushion shoes, you can kind of land as hard as you like. With a firmer pair of shoes, they are just that little bit harder on landing, and you can feel it after a little while. So quick, light steps promotes that kind of good form, keeps you up on your toes a little bit too. All right, 17 miles in, one major mile-long climb to go, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Let's get this one done. There we go, 18 miles, 2 hours and 20 minutes in the Brooks Hyperion Max. Getting first thoughts, but really good shoe. I think I'm going to clock up hundreds of miles in these. They just feel like they're built like a tank, and with them being pretty firm off the bat, you know, as you get to sort of like 500, 600 miles, you're just not going to notice that sort of deterioration in the bounce and the pop. That's what I'm hoping anyway. They feel really robustly built. Don't think you're going to be disappointed if you put these on your feet. But thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And until the next one, be the best you.